Yeah, morning all. So before I start, can anyone please confirm whether my voice is clear, whether the screen is visible or not? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Fine. Okay. So see data Python data types and variables. Python data types and variables. Every organization use case has got data and operations. Data are represented using data types or variables. Operations represented using functions. If you take the example, yesterday I was giving an example, right, of a bank. Bank consists of data and operations. Data like customer data, customer operations. Customer data like customer name, account number, address, balance, branch. Okay. Represented, customer data represented using, yes, data types and variables. Operations. Customer operations, right? Yes. Like deposit operations, withdraw operations. What is that? Customer operations, withdraw operations, deposit operations, transfer operations. Yes, represented using functions. Yes. And operation, okay, fine. Just observe this example, right? C or C++ or Java compared with Python. C++, Java compared with Python. Python supports dynamic data types. Python supports dynamic data types. It supports dynamic data types. So in other programming language like C or C++ or Java, if you are defining a variable x as 10, we need to say like index. If you define a variable y equal to 4.5, we need to say float. Float y as 4.5. Z equal to hello, yes. String z as hello, right? X as 10, index y as 4.5, float y. Z equal to hello, right? Yes. Okay. Without this data type defining, you cannot create the variable x. Without this data type float, you cannot create this variable y. Without this, we cannot create this variable z. Right, x, y, and z. But in Python, directly we can say x as 10, y as 4.5, z as hello. You can say like x as 10, y as 4.5, z as hello. What value you are assigning to x? What value you are trying to assign to x? So if you're assigning an integer value to x, so the type of x will be into type. If you're assigning a float value, right? So there is a built-in function, type function to know the type of a variable. Type of y is float. If you're assigning a string to z, so it will be a string variable. It's going to get created dynamically during runtime. So yes, If you're assigning an integer value to x, so what is the type of x? Int type. If you're assigning a float value to y, right, the type of y will be float type. Type of z will be string type. So based upon the value assigned, what value you are assigning? If you're assigning integer value to it, so what variable x is the integer variable created based on the value assigned. What value you are assigning to this? Based on the value assigned, the variables are created dynamically, right? Yes, integer value. Yes, type of x will be int type. Type of y will be float. Type of z will be string type, right? Yes. Yes. So here in Python, no need to define the data type. In Python, no need to define the data type, right? What value you are assigning? What value you are assigning based on the value assigned, right? Based on the value assigned, yes. Yes. If you're assigning integer, integer value. If you're assigning a float value, float variable. If you're assigning a string, string type. Yes. If you're assigning a list, list type. Okay. So I'm going to discuss 4 cases now. I'm going to discuss 4 cases, right? To make you understand much better about these data types and variables. Case 1. Whenever you say x equal to 10, whenever we say x, observe carefully what happens internally whenever we create a variable. Yes, whenever we say x equal to 10, internally one object gets created. Yes, with value 10. It is going to have its address. The address is given to x. What x is storing? What x is storing, right? Don't say like x is storing 10. Don't say x is storing 10, right? X stores the address. X stores the address. So 3 things you need to understand here. 3 things you need to understand here, right? Yes. Print x. Prints the content. Prints the content, right? Yes. Print x means it goes to this address and prints the content whatever present at that address. Print x means it goes to this address and prints the content whatever present at that address. Prints the content at that address. What is that? 10. ID of x. There is a function called ID function. If you want to print this address, prints the address of x. Type of x, right? Prints the data type of x. Prints the data type of x is means what type? Integer type. Print x prints the content at that address 10. Print ID of x prints the address of x, right? Yes. Type of x. Prints the data type of x. What type it is? Integer type. There is case one, right? Yes. How to print the content, how to print the address, how to print the type. Printing the content, printing the address, and printing the type. Now observe this case two. Now everyone try to give your responses. Yes. You can just unmute yourself and try to give a response through voice or through chat panel, right? You can also type in the chat panel your response. So whenever I say x equal to 10, y equal to 20, how many objects are created internally? For x equal to 10 and y equal to 20, two objects. For 10, one object with some address, that address given to x. Yes, y equal to 20, right? Y equal to 20, one more object with some address. This address is given to y. X equal to 10, y equal to 20. Okay, two objects, x equal to 10, y equal to 20. Now try to say what is print x? Yes, everyone try to give a response. Print x is what?
10.
10. Print address ID. ID means the address where exactly it is stored. What is it?
108070.
Yes. Data type. Type of x is what type? Yes. Integer.
Integer.
Print y. What is it? Y value?
20.
20. Address of y. Where exactly it is? The address, right? Where exactly it is stored? The address. 10.
4080.
Type of y. Type of y
Integer.
is integer type because you assigned the integer value to it. So yes, how to print the value, how to print the address, how to print the type. Two different variables with two different values, then two different objects with two different addresses. Yes. This case two. Next, case three.
Is there any why we use is there any use case of address we use in when we code in real time
No.
scenario?
The only thing is, yes, observe this case three, right? Why I am checking with the address, right? So x value is 10, y value is 10. Now everyone
Okay.
try to answer how many objects are created here? Everyone.
Two objects.
Observe carefully. Here only one object is created. 10 with some address. The address is given to x. Before creating object for y, it checks any object with value 10 is already available in the memory. If available, the same address will be given to y. Don't think for x equal to 10, y equal to 10, z is equal to 10, right? Don't think for everything 10, 10, 10. Three objects are going to get created with value 10. No. Duplicate objects won't be created. Only one object, its address is given to x, y, z. Means you need to clearly understand how many objects are created here. One object or two or three. So that address, if you check the address, if the address is same, one object only. If the address are different, multiple objects are created. Understand here? If x
So
value is 10, y is 20, z is 30. How many objects are created?
3.
3. But if the values are same, only
It's a
one.
1.
Only one object.
So
sir,
here,
what if I
yeah,
give 10 in string? Will it give the same? Do it check the type data type like type or
see x equal to 10. Here, if you are giving one as integer, one as if you give in double quotes, one string object, one integer object, two objects will be created.
two objects? Okay.
One is string object, one is integer object. So here x, y, and z, they are sharing the same content to 10, they are sharing the same address. So I can say like here, print x, print y, print z. All these three are printing the same. Print x, print y, and print z. They are printing same 10. ID of x, ID of y, ID of z. All these three are printing the same. Address of x, address of y, and address of z. Okay. So they are sharing the same content and they are sharing the same address. Now observe this case 4. Now previously I have taken x and y, right? Now I'm saying x as 10, x as 20. How many objects are created here, right?
2 objects.
For 10, one object. Y equal to 20, one more object. Okay, it's fine. But if I say print x,
20.
whether
It prints 20.
whether it will print 10 or 20 or both.
20.
So always the latest value, right? X value 10,
Yes.
X value 20. The latest value is going to be printed. Print ID of x. Type of x is integer. Now, if I execute for the second time also, it will print 20. It prints the address. Okay. But what happens to this previous object to 10? What happens to the previous object to 10? Can I print the value of the previous object to 10? Can I print the value of the previous object to 10? Whether it is
No.
available or not available, or whether it's got removed, or what happens to the previous object here? So to understand this, what happens to the previous object, you need to understand about a small topic, garbage collector. So it's too early to discuss about that concept, but just I'll give overview as of now. Later we discuss about it in brief. I'll go back to this case 3. Say what is garbage collector? Garbage collector removes unreferred objects, removes unused or unreferred objects. Garbage collector removes unused. See, tomorrow also we have a session, right? Same times using the same link. See more discussion on this. Tomorrow also we have a session. Yes. So garbage collector removes unused or unreferred objects from the memory. What do you mean by unused or unreferred objects? What do you mean by unused or unreferred objects?
Which are we are not used
Yes.
objects.
Objects whose reference count becomes 0. We call them as unused or unreferred objects. Then objects whose reference count becomes 0, then immediately these objects then immediately this objects gets removed. Then immediately this object gets removed. Then immediately this object gets removed from the memory. Automatically by the garbage collector. Right? Yes. Objects whose reference count becomes 0, then immediately this object gets removed from the memory by the garbage collector. What is the reference count becoming 0? What is this reference count and how it becomes 0, right? Reference count. Reference count is nothing but number of variables pointing to an object. Number of variables pointing to an object. Number of variables pointing to an object will give the reference count. How many variables are pointing to an object will give the reference count. Or number of variables. Storing address of an object. To understand this, what is reference count? There is an object 10 here. There is an object 10 here. How many variables are pointing to this? How many variables? X is pointing, Y is pointing, Z is pointing to this, right? So what is the reference count? Try to answer. What is the reference count? 3, because X is pointing. Number of variables pointing to an object. Here 3 variables are pointing. So reference count is 3. Number of variables pointing to an object or number of variables storing the address of an object will give the reference count. So number of variables, how many variables are storing this address? X is storing that address, Y is storing, Z is storing. So reference count is 3. Now, slowly I modify this Y equal to 10 to Y equal to 20. I'm modifying that Y value to 20. Means a new object 20 gets created with some address. the address is given to Y. Now Y is pointing to the new object. Y is pointing to the object. Y is not pointing to this. Y is not pointing to this. Y is pointed to the new object. Now, what is the reference count now? Yes, how many variables are pointing? To X and Z only are pointing now. Y is pointing to the new object. Slowly, I am modifying the Z value to 30. Slowly, I am modifying the Z value to 30. Z is pointing to the new object. Z is pointing to the new object. Z is not pointing to this. Now, what is the reference count of this object at 10?
1.
Well, only X is pointing, right? Previously, X, Y, and Z were pointing. Previously, X, Y, Z were pointing. Now only X is pointing. Now Y and Z, they are pointing to the new object. Slowly, I am modifying the X value also to 50. 107060. This address is given to X. Now X is pointing to the new object. Now X is not pointing to this. What is the reference count now?
0.
1.
Automatically go.
Reference count is 0. No variable is pointing. Previously, 3 variables were pointing. Now 3 variables are pointing to the 3 different objects. Now no variable is pointing to it. It is unused object. It is unreferred object. Means if any object reference count becomes 0, then immediately those object gets removed from the memory by garbage collector. As this reference count is 0, as it is unused or unreferred object, yes, this object gets removed from the memory. Understood how a reference count becomes 0? And when an object gets removed, what is reference count? What is garbage collector? Everyone. Hello?
Yes.
Sir,
Understand.
will address will also be removed?
Yes, if the object is removed means when there is no object, where is the no address, right?
Okay.
Fine. Next, based on this understanding, we will go back to case 4. I was just asking you a query, right?
Excuse me, sir. Can you please explain that again? How it becomes unused?
What is it? So if this object reference count is 0, no variable are pointing to this object, no variables are storing this address, no variables are pointing. Previously X, Y, Z were pointing, now X, Y, Z are pointing to 3 different objects. No variable is pointing to this, reference count is 0. Immediately it gets removed.
Sir, when you say remove, the value will become to 0, or what happens to that value in that specific address?
If you are, what is that? Once again, can you repeat your query?
So you're telling the garbage collector will remove the unused objects, right?
Yes.
So when you say remove, so what actually does garbage collector do? Does it no write the default value as 0, or what happens to the value in that specific object location?
Everything object is gone means whatever present value, everything will be gone.
So when you say gone, will the values will be 0, or just
No.
the values will be staying, and there will be no reference to that location?
Whenever whenever you are you downloaded a video, a movie, whenever you downloaded a movie, if you delete that, if you delete or if you remove it, will it be available? Here also the object and its value, everything will be removed, and its address, everything will be gone.
Everything will be changed to 0.
everything will be nothing. You won't see anything there.
So how to remove it, sir? How to remove it? How can you reinitialize it to remove it? That's the question.
How to? See, here are three objects X, Y, Z. Already X is pointing to this object to 50. Previously, X was pointing to 10. You made X to point to 50 now. Now X is pointing to 50. X is not pointing to 10. Previously, Y was pointing to 10 only. X was pointing to 10 only. Z also was pointing. But slowly, you made Y to point to 20. You made Z to point to 30. X to point to 50. Now no variables are pointing to 10. So it is unused or unreferred. Immediately it gets removed from the memory. Entire object. Yes.
When we are assigning the new value, is automatically previous value will be gone, right, sir?
Yes, yes. That is what case 4, right? So in the case 4, based on this understanding, if you go to case 4, forget about X equal to 20, X equal to 10, one object created, right? What is the reference count? Everyone, try to answer. Reference count of this object to 10.
Now
Is
0.
0.
1, right?
One.
One variable X is pointing to this or not? One
Yes.
variable X is pointing. Now X equal to 20, I modified. Now X equal to 20, I said. X value modifying to 20. A new object 20 is created. Now X is pointing to the new object. X is not pointing to this. What is the
Yes.
reference count?
You see here 10 is 0.
No variable is pointing. No variable is pointing on. So this is reference count is 0. Whenever any object reference count is 0, immediately that object gets removed. By whom? Garbage collector.
Yeah.
Garbage collector is a background program or background thread which runs in the background whenever any object reference count becomes 0.
Hello, excuse me. Can we enable or disable the garbage collector? Is there any way to do it?
What is garbage collector?
Yeah, the garbage collector basically is initializing, is taking care of the removing, some reinitializing the variable to its 0 values.
No. Garbage collector never initializes.
But it removes, some values, right?
Garbage collector just removes it, unused objects from the memory.
Yeah.
Here 10 is unused object. It is unreferred, unused object. No variable is using it.
No, my
Previously,
question is there any way that we can disable the garbage collector? So, we can manipulate, something variable, with something else. Can we, or can we define something, equivalent to garbage collector?
no. What advantage you are going to get if you disable?
No, my question is just the functionality. Does it have the enable or disable functionality? You said no. That's fine. Thank you.
So here garbage collector is a background. It runs in the background only. Background thread, background program which runs in the background. And when it gets activated, when it gets executed means any time if any object reference count becomes 0, then immediately it removes that object from the memory. Okay, means here one variable X was pointing to 10, but slowly what happened, you have modified the X value. Now X is pointing to the new object, but this object 10 is not referred by any variable. No variable is pointing, no variable is using the value 10, no variable is using the value 10. So it is unused or unreferred. So immediately garbage collector removes that from the memory.
It's automatically removed by garbage collector, sir. We don't need to enable the garbage collector. Nothing we need to do. It's automatically doing, right?
It automatically happens, right?
Okay.
So for example, X equal to 20 currently is there. If I say X equal to 30, what happens? Okay, 30, when new object created, what happens to this 20?
Gets removed.
That
Garbage
gets
removed.
collector collector.
garbage
It's
collector
removed.
removes that object 20, right? Understand this.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
X can store only one value.
Just want to know, is it overwritten or it is getting newly correct?
No,
Created.
not overwritten. A new object is creating. You see, X equal to 30 means don't think it will go to this 20 and modifies the 20 to 30. No, a new object is created and the previous one gets removed. So I'll show you all these 4 cases practically now, right? So whenever we install Python, right, you can just go to the start programs, check where your Python is available, right? Within the start. Python 3.12, that is the version. Ideally, you can see the first thing. Click this. Yes. Python shell gets open in interactive mode. Say file, new file. Then you can work with batch mode. You can write your code. You can run your code here. That comment in Python starts with as symbol. Comments are not executable. So case one, right? Defining a variable. X value 10. Print X means prints the content. Print, if you want to print the address ID of X. If you want to print the data type of X, right? Yes. Print X, ID of X, type of X. Printing the content, printing the address, printing the type. Observe this. We need to save it. Okay. Any name into one .py, right? .py extension. Run module, right? Check it. Print X is printing the 10. Address, it is printing the address. Type of X, it is printing the type. What type? Integer type. Print X, it is printing 10. ID of X, it is printing the address. Type of X, it is printing what type? Integer type. Case 2. So just I'm pasting Control V. Let's copy paste. Case 2. Case 2 is what? X value is 10. Y is 20.
Right.
Two different variables defining. Yes. Two different variables with two different values. Then two different objects. Two different objects gets created. Defining two different variables with two different values, then two different objects gets created. With two different addresses. Two different variables with two different values, then two different objects gets created with two different addresses. X is 10, Y is 20. Print X, address of X, type of X. Print Y, address of Y, and type of file. Okay. Now try to answer address of X and address of X and address of Y. Will it be same or different?
Different, sir. Different.
Different because different values 10, 20 means different objects with different addresses. Two different values with two different objects, two different addresses. Yes. Ten, 20, right? Yes, 10, 20. This is the address. Int and int. 10 and 20 are two different values, two different addresses. Now observe this case 3, right? Observe this case 3. Yes. Case 3 is what? X is 10, Y also 10. Both are 10, defining two different variables X and Y with same values. With same values. Then only one object gets created. Only one object gets created and its address. Two different variables with same values, then only one object gets created. And its address is written to both. Okay, can you please answer now? The address of X and address of Y, will it be same or different here? Yes.
Same.
It has to be same, right? Because same values, only one object, only one address. Save it first. Ten and 10, only one object. See, the address is same, right? Yes. Yes. Now case 4. X value is 10 and X value is 20. X value is 10, defining two variables with same name. Two variables with same name. Two variables with same name, but with different values. Same name, but with different values. Then two different objects. Gets created. and the previous one gets removed. Removed by the garbage collector, right? And run module. Always it means 20 and its address, right? Always it means 20 and its address. Okay. Understood all these 4 cases, everyone? Any queries in this? Yes. One
Sir,
query.
when does that garbage collector collects the value? If after running it or before that?
So during the program execution, right? During the program execution, statement by statement execution, right? Whenever any object reference count becomes a 0,
Okay.
then that object gets removed immediately. So in the first line, x value was 10. Okay, reference count was 1. When it came x equal to 20, right? Reference count of this becomes a 0. Then
Okay.
immediately it gets removed and a new object x equal to 10 will. X can store the address of only one object, either 10 or 20. Here it
Okay.
was storing the x value, x address of 10. Here it is storing the address of 20. Second line. When you come to the second line, the first line garbage cutter removes that object.
Immediately it will remove.
Immediately. Immediately.
Okay, sir.
So if I go to this case 3, I got what happens if you assign different data type values.
Yes, sir.
Okay. For example, okay, I'll come back to this explanation, but observe this case 3. X is 10, Y is 10. Address of X and address of Y is the same or different?
Same.
It has to be, it has to be same, right? It must be same. Values are same. But if I say 10.0 here,
Data type changed.
Two addresses will be
now before you answer, try to say the type of Y.
Float.
float type.
Double.
So type of X is integer,
Integer.
type of Y is float.
Float
Means
type.
here the address of X and Y, will it be same?
It will be different.
Different, right?
Two objects
Different
will be
addresses.
created.
Means 10 and 10.0 are both not same. One is integer object created here float object is created with 2 different addresses. Yes. Yes, 2 different values with 2 different addresses, 2 different objects are created. So this address of X and Y are not same. Here type of X in, type of Y float type. Just observe this result. Yes, this is the address, this is the address. Understood, right? All these 4 cases, yes. Okay. Once go through this course content, right? 1 second. Just 1 second. Yes. Okay. So tomorrow also we have a session, right? Same time at 7 o'clock using the same link. Tomorrow's okay, you can attend the session, but tomorrow's session, but after tomorrow's class, the link will be changing. You are supposed to get enrolled, right? You are supposed to get enrolled, right? And here Python. What is Python? Why history, applications, advantages, versions, installations, flavors, right? Python operations, modes, Python editors, Python data types, constants, variables, input, output statements, type conversions, comments, escape sequences, right? Next, operators in Python. Different types of operators: arithmetic, comparison, logical, assignment, shorthand, bitwise, membership, and identity. Python IDs. Yes, IDs, right? Different types of IDs, like working with Anaconda, Jupyter, Spider, Eclipse, NetBeans, right? Flow control statements like basic Python, like flow control statement, looping, strings, string indexing, string slicing, string functions, method, string characters, collections, right? List tuple sets and dictionaries, list operations, list indexing, list slicing, list functions, list methods, list addresses, nested list modifications. Similarly for tuple sets, dictionaries, functions in Python in brief, different types of functions, different categories, different arguments, lambda functions, reduce functions, filter functions, map functions, modules in Python, right? Modular programming, how to import normal import from import. Yes, package in Python, errors and exceptions in Python, file handling, object-oriented programming concepts in brief, regular expressions in Python, database connectivity. Python connects with database. I'm going to show you the installation of a database also. Python, different models related to different domains, some models related to data science, some related to big data, some related to networking, some related to graphics, some models related to GUI, graphic applications, some related to datetime, OS module, advanced concepts, iterator, generator, closures, decorators, GUI programming, Excel workbook, data analytics, introduction to data science, Python pandas, Python numpy, Python matplotlib. This 30 topics in brief, in depth, we will be discussing, right? Can compare this course content with any other training site. We see we'll be discussing in brief, in depth. This Python core and advanced, right? And people who wants to go for full stack. So Django, yes. Web frameworks, Django installation, Django project architecture, Django applications creations, Django views, Django templates, yes, Django admin, Django models, advanced concepts, right? And UI technologies also, right? HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and Bootstrap. And MySQL will be discussed, right? Yes. So as I said, for Python, it takes 70 hours, takes nearly 2 months to 2.5 months. So in brief, in depth, we'll be discussing, right? Yes. The fee for only Python is 5,000. Yes. And for entire full stack, people who wants to go for full stack means Python, web development, UI technologies, and the Django framework and project, right? So it will be 12,000 actually for Python full stack. But if you are doing at a time single payment, right, you can just, it's for 10,000 they are providing. Yes. Fine. Python 2 months, and those people who wants to go for web development, web applications creations, it's 4 months. But if you want to go them parallelly, also you can go parallelly Monday. Okay, fine. So
One question.
mm.
Can you just tell us what is the uh, what is the difference, or if a person is joining Python as a beginner, and what option he or she should choose further, like for data science, data analyst, AI, or machine learning?
So okay, whatever that total implementation, right? So if you're going
Yeah,
for,
no. Suppose I'm learning. I know React. I'm working on React,
Mm.
but I want to switch in like in data science or machine learning kind of field. So I'm learning
Okay.
Python,
So
right?
once
So I
once
want to know. Yeah, I
so
wanted to know. Yeah,
data
please.
science, if you're going for data science environment, right?
Yeah.
Total coding goes in Python. The
Okay.
prerequisite for it is data Python. The prerequisites for data science, machine learning, deep learning for all this is entire coding. Whatever coding you do, everything, whatever code you write, it will be in Python, right? Python is the implementation language for this data science, right? Yes. Even for data analytics, people who go for big data like Hadoop, Spark, PySpark, right? Especially for Spark, PySpark, Spark with Python implementation, we say like PySpark, right? Yes. Any other queries, right?
No, and this class will be on Saturday too, right?
So actually Monday to Friday, but as these are the demo sessions, right? So tomorrow we
Okay.
have a session continuation, right? So not
Sir,
all Fridays. So Monday to Friday the sessions will be, as these are demo sessions. Tomorrow there is a session.
Okay. Thank
sir,
you.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
Since I have already enrolled in the course and I already paid the fees,
Hmm.
so is there any need for me to join tomorrow to attend the demo or no need?
Tomorrow is not a demo, right? See here, all these sessions won't be repeated again. So day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, these demo sessions will be count as the sessions there. But only for all the other people, whether you pay or won't pay, they'll be given freely first 3, 4 sessions. For 3 sessions like that. So tomorrow session also you are supposed to attend. It's a that again
Thank
won't be
you.
repeated. That won't be repeated, right? But tomorrow session will be given freely to all. But the next session from there after the test will be everyone has to get enrolled. People who are enrolled only will be getting the link after tomorrow's class. Means from Monday's class, right? People who have enrolled only, they'll be getting the link to their mail IDs. Right?
Thank you.
But tomorrow session, everyone need to attend. But everyone attends. But after attending tomorrow session, you need to get enrolled, right? Fine. Do we see more on this? Yes.
Excuse me, sir. I started yesterday from yesterday. Is it possible to send before classes to me? I want to continue this course.
1 second. 1 second. See in the chart. So in the chart panel, you can see this. 1 second. Payment details, procedures are given. The links. One second, hold on. In the chart panel now itself, they'll paste that link, the video links of yesterday's. Yes. So yes. Yeah, they'll be pasting that video link, right? So every session is video recorded. You will be getting the recorded videos, right? Every day, you will be getting the recorded videos. See, once this enrollment process is completed, you will be getting that videos to your Google Drive. Every day, one video will be added to your drive, and soft copy of the notes will be provided. Assignments and tasks will be provided, and a WhatsApp group is going to get created, right? After
Okay.
tomorrow's class, a WhatsApp group is going to be created for technical discussions, or if you get any error, right, while you are practicing. If you get any error, you can take the snap of that error, you can keep in the group WhatsApp group. Anybody can answer it, I'll be answering it. Why that error? No need to wait up to the next class. Yes.
This
Okay,
course is
thank you.
completed in 60 days, or it will be completed in 45 days?
It's not a 45 hours course. It's a 70 hours course. So to get the grade command on this, right? So we are going with 70 hours, right? 2 months to 2.5 months it goes.
Okay.
I
So
have a doubt regarding today's class.
yes.
Okay, till now we have discussed two case 4 types, right?
Hmm.
In case 5, if we write the code, for example, x variable will be, the value will be 10, and we rewrite it to 20. Now the value, that means the object gets a garbage collector will collect it, right?
That is case 4, right? Yes, one second. This is
Yes.
that is case 4. X value 10, X value 20, you are saying.
Yes. Now the garbage collector collects the object on the address 10, right?
Garbage collector immediately comes and removes the object to 10.
Yes. And now I want to assign y equal to 10. Will it provide the same address or a different address?
Okay. Okay. Now it got removed.
Yes.
Now again you are saying y equal to 10.
Yes.
It may give the same address or it may give that may or may not give the same address. It is not
Okay.
compulsory. But if x equal to 10 is there, okay, as you said, one object with some address 103070, this address is given. But okay, y also 10, the same address is given to x and y. But after x and y, they're storing the same address. But x equal to 20, x equal to 20, right? Means a
Yes.
new object 20 is created with some address. This address is given. This address, this x is removed. Now, but this object still available because y is pointing to this, x is pointing to this. Now, okay. Now again, what you did, you modified again x to 10. Means what happens? This will be removed. A new object, already this object 10 address is that only will be given to this. Right? You have modified x equal to 10 to 20, a new object get. Again 20 to 10 means one more object won't be get. Already 10 is available, the address will be given. So here also, whenever x equal to 10, x equal to 20, again if x equal to 10 means already this object got removed. A new
Yes.
object created. The new object will take a new address or already this, if this address is available, that address also takes.
So there is no compulsory that the previous address will be remained, right?
Yes.
Okay, sir. Sir, are we executing in batch mode or interactive mode, sir?
Interactive mode, see this interactive mode. Whenever you type IDLE in this integrated development environment, see this Python 3.12, you get this interactive mode. This interactive mode, you can type any valid statements, x equal to 10, x plus 2, x minus 2. Directly you can get that output there. X into 2, x by 2, x to the power of 2. Yes, in this way. We no need to save the program code here. Directly for testing purpose only, you can go for interactive mode. But
Okay.
for developing applications, we go for batch mode.
In industry, we run it on batch mode, right?
Yes, batch mode only. This interactive mode only to check the functionality, what output it is going to give. Testing the functionalities of Python and to learn Python, right?
Okay, sir. Thank you. Sir, are we getting the certificate after this course completion?
Yes, you will be getting the course completion certificate, right?
Okay, sir. Thank you. Sir,
Okay.
from Monday onwards, we'll get soft copy of the notes, sir.
Yes, notes you will be getting, right? Yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, you can check your mail IDs, right? You can check your mail IDs with whatever link you have joined. You can see that videos, you will be getting the video link of yesterday's if you have missed the session. And also in the tomorrow session, I'll just ask them to paste in the chat panel the videos, right? But once you check in the mail by today afternoon, you will be getting the videos to your mail IDs. The link will be given. Click that link. You can just go through the videos, right? So tomorrow we'll continue the session, same time at 7 o'clock. You can follow the same link, right? Yes, more discussion on this. Bye.
Okay, sir.
Thank you all for your time. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.